Hello everybody, welcome back to Jared Opens a Box here on Jared Takes the L. And we have another great episode for you guys here today because as I mentioned in yesterday's Jared Takes the L video where we revisited WWE 2K Battlegrounds, we are doing another WWE video for you guys here today. And we've done plenty of WWE videos on Jared Opens a Box. I've been trying to do one for each of the four major shows, you know, SummerSlam, which is obviously this weekend, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. I try to have something for each of those four big shows at least. So, you know, hopefully we'll be able to keep doing that. But we have one for you guys here today. There are, well, I guess I should say there are 3 pops. But there's actually more than that. There's actually 6 pops total. But one of the ones we're going to be looking at today is actually a 3-pack, which I think is the first time on Jared Opens a Box we have done a 3-pack. I don't believe we've ever done one before, so I do think that's pretty cool that we're going to get to see one today. That's actually what we're going to get started with. So our first WWE Funko Pop for today is going to be a 3-pack of one of the most iconic moments, not in WWE history, believe it or not, but actually in WCW history, which was WWE's old competitor back in the 90s. Basically, what AEW is to them now is what WCW was to WWE back in the day. And one of the game-changing moments in WCW's history was this. The NWO, the formation of the NWO, which is what this 3-pack is based on. It does, of course, come with 3 wrestlers. It has Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash. Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, of course, originated as a tag team called the Outsiders because they came from WWE to WCW. They were outsiders, if you get that. Hulk Hogan, at the time, was still on the Hulkamania thing. He was the, you know, the big American hero and everything. So when he came out and turned heel, joined the NWO, it was crazy. And nobody would have expected Hulk Hogan to be a bad guy. And that's what this basically led up to. So here is this 3-pack. There's everyone on the back there. Still showing one of the older waves, which I think is kind of funny. It just kind of shows random wrestlers. They don't go by waves with the WWE ones, you know. They just release whatever. But let's go ahead and open this one up and see what we got in here. And they're all they all fell out. Oh, I'm dropping them everywhere. All right, hold on. I gotta grab everything. Okay, we're back and we're good. I picked everything up. All this came falling out of the box. I also had to close the door because the cats were barging in again. But we have all 3 of them here, so we will, of course, kick things off with Hulk Hogan. It's not the first Hulk Hogan pop that we've done here on Jared Opens a Box. Probably won't be the last either. Funko keeps making them, and, you know, so there's a chance there will always be another one. This one, pretty cool. Again, this is based on when he came out. I want to say it was at, I want to say the formation of the NWO was at Bash at the Beach. That was one of WCW's like big pay-per-views at the time. So this one, pretty cool. Again, it's got the red and yellow that Hulk Hogan was known for. He's got the bandana. It says Hogan on it. He's got, of course, the trademark mustache going there. I don't know exactly what pose this is supposed to be that he's doing. I don't know if he's doing like the hulking up thing or whatever. Maybe that's what he's doing, but nonetheless, pretty cool figure. And this would have been the last that we would have seen of the traditional red and yellow before he ditched it for the black and white Hollywood Hulk Hogan look, which I don't think we've ever done Hollywood Hogan on Jared Opens a Box, but maybe someday. But yeah, overall, pretty cool figure for Hogan there. Then, of course, we do have the other 2. Oh, he doesn't stand very well. I don't think it came with a base or anything. I don't know. Like I said, it all came falling out, so it could be somewhere. And here is Scott Hall. This one is pretty cool. We have, of course, had Razor Ramon. A couple of Razor Ramones, actually, made into Funko Pops. Unfortunately, of course, Scott Hall did pass away. I believe that was just last year that he passed away. So I think it's cool that they're making more stuff for him recently. But this is pretty good, actually. It's a fairly accurate figure. They even got the goatee and everything down, little stubble. They got the little hair, like this little strand of hair that he always had going down his forehead there. They even gave him the chest hair. So thanks for that detail, Funko. And then, of course, the also has the red and black, which was the Outsiders colors. They you know, it was the outfit that they wore while they were just a team before the NWO. But yeah, so there's Scott Hall. Really, really cool figure. And then, of course, the last one that we have is, of course, Kevin Nash. Him and Scott Hall, of course, both came over together as part of that. It was kind of crazy because they let their contracts run out and they just showed up on WCW television. It was one of the first times that had happened during the war between WWE and WCW. This one, pretty cool. Again, I don't think I have any Kevin Nash pops. They have made a couple before. They've made I made one for Diesel a couple years ago, which was his WWE character, but I don't think I got that one, so this is actually my first. He does have his, you know, singlet on. It says the Outsiders on it right there. And the rest of the outfit, again, it's got the red and black. They got the hair down. Overall, pretty cool figure for Kevin Nash here. I like it. And that's going to do it for that one. First 3-pack here. And obviously that did take some time, but we still have 2 more figures today, just single figures. This next one also, I believe, comes from WCW, so I think it's kind of funny that, you know, WWE obviously won the battle between them and WCW, and they bought everything WCW related, including all of their characters, everything like that. So hence why they're under the WWE licensing now. But this one also, I believe, was from WCW, but it's also a wrestler who's very well known for his time in WWE. I am, of course, talking about Eddie Guerrero. This one is from his time in the LWO, which, of course, does stand for the Latino World Order, which was a group with him and Rey Mysterio, another popular wrestler, and a couple of others. And like I said, I think that was originating in WCW. They have recently brought it back to WWE television, like a new revamped LWO with Rey Mysterio still in the group, but it has some others like Zelina Vega. It did have Santos Escobar, but he's since gone off to do his own thing. So this is the original. This is the OG, though. The OG LWO with one of the founding members, Eddie Guerrero. There he is right there. And I'm just going to say, looking at this picture right here, I'm just saying, Dominic Mysterio, it might actually be Eddie's son. I don't know. It's really hard to say. He looks just like Eddie Guerrero. It's crazy. And we will see Dominic on Jared Opens a Box later this year as well. So, all right, let's go ahead and open this one up. Oh, this one does come with a base, actually. Okay, with a base right there. So here is Eddie Guerrero. This is, of course, based on his appearance in the late 90s. He's rocking the mullet right there, the same mullet that Dominic Mysterio's rocking right now. Same with the goatee and everything. Like, you could probably swap this head out for, like, Dominic Mysterio's and vice versa, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So I'm just saying. And then, of course, he does have the LWO shirt on, which I think is awesome. I do think it'd be cool if we also got a new Rey Mysterio pop with the same thing, with him wearing the LWO shirt. I think that would be awesome if that were to be the case. I also like the attire that he's wearing. Very classic Eddie Guerrero attire right there. And he's also holding up an L. So kind of fitting, you know, for the channel, I guess. So thank you, Eddie Guerrero, for that. I always thought Eddie Guerrero was really, really cool. I've seen like countless of his matches and stuff like that. And he was such a great wrestler. And I always feel like he's going to be regarded as one of the greatest high flyers of all time for sure. And I'm glad to have another Eddie Guerrero pop. I did have the original one they made, GameStop exclusive. That was based on his WWE appearances, like in his later years, like 2004, 2005. And I also have the one where he's in the car, the lowrider. We did both of those on Jared Opens a Box over the years. And yeah, it's time for our last pop. This one actually is an active wrestler. In fact, he's going to be competing at SummerSlam later this evening. He's going to be fighting CM Punk in a grudge match with Seth Rollins as the referee. So I'm sure you know who I'm talking about by now. It is, of course, Drew McIntyre. I didn't even do the numbers. I'm sorry. I'm terrible. This is Pop WWE number 154. I think Eddie Guerrero was 155. The 3-pack didn't have a number. But yeah, Drew McIntyre finally getting another Funko Pop. He already had one back in like 2021. And yes, we did do that on the channel as well. If you go back, I'm sure you can find it. It was probably back in 21 when we reviewed that one. But now we have a new one, new Drew McIntyre. So this one, pretty cool. There he is, of course, on the back. And Drew McIntyre's had a bit of a career resurgence this year. He is, I think he's a heel. I don't know exactly what he is. I guess it's, up for debate on what exactly he's supposed to be right now. But his feud that he has had with CM Punk has definitely been a legendary one, to say the least. And I'm very curious to see who's going to win, at SummerSlam when McIntyre and Punk go head-to-head. But yeah, here he is, Drew McIntyre. I do believe the head mold is the exact same as the original pop, and I mean, I guess if it's not broke, don't fix it. Like, literally, he even has the same smirk and everything that I think the original had. The difference with this one, though, is that he has a couple differences. The one, he actually has his sword that he usually carries out with him for his entrances now. He'll bring that out with him, and it's part of his entrance, and he is not allowed to use that in the wrestling ring, of course, for obvious reasons. But it's a really, really cool decision to include that. He also has a kilt on. I think it's cool. Also, something that he's kind of incorporated into his entrance, going into his Scottish heritage and stuff like that. So McIntyre, my opinion, one of the best wrestlers right now. I love him. I think he's awesome. And like I said, the stuff with CM Punk he's been doing this year, even the stuff before that, he even won, in the world title earlier this year, even if it was for only about 5 minutes, still was really cool to see him get to do that finally in front of a crowd. And yeah, this one, really, really cool. I think it's better for sure than the original one that they made a couple years back. Okay, so that is it for that. I guess we'll do our ratings for today. I will say, I think Eddie Guerrero and Drew McIntyre both have earned themselves a 9 out of 10. I think they are really, really cool, very well detailed and accurate to the wrestler that they're portraying. I think the NWO 3-pack, I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. Again, also fairly accurate. With Hulk Hogan, we've already seen him before, so it's nothing too crazy. And Scott Hall and Kevin Nash both looked really good as well. But I do think Eddie Guerrero and Drew McIntyre were my personal favorites from this particular WWE video. But I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on these pops. Let me know down below which is your favorite. Of course, I'll go through one more time. We did, of course, have Hulk Hogan. We had Scott Hall. We had Kevin Nash. We had Eddie Guerrero. And we had Drew McIntyre. So definitely let me know down below, guys, which is your favorite. Next week, we're going to be taking a look at it's going to be a pretty interesting one. It's not technically from a specific Batman comic strip. At least I'm not 100% sure if it is. I have to do a little bit more research into it. But it is going to be featuring some never-before-seen Batman characters here on Jared Opens a Box, which I think is going to be really, really cool. So keep an eye out for that one, guys. But that is going to do it for today, guys. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.